they said no.
How do you think it looks?
I don't mind it. I also asked if they just took it after Odell Beckham Jr., but they both claimed they had it before him. So we tackled that subject in the locker room before Media Day to get a plan of solidarity on the topic. No. I'm gonna stay in my lane on that one.
David, a few of the guys you said that you've been around working with them, but how's that been when you kind of getting a head start, and what's kind of your excited about joining the team when you first talked to us? What's kind of your assessment now that some of the guys that you're talking about?
I'm still very excited. I think that's something I've always done is come here about a month early, and especially moving to a new city and getting acclimated to even driving from my house to here and getting used to the coaching staff and what they expect and getting to know the other guys on the team. I think that's very, very important. A theme you'll hear with me all year long is I think the chemistry of the team. I think that's a very underrated part. It's something we had last year in Golden State and something that is already well established here. I think the guys get along great, and that was part of their success towards the end of the year last year. So kind of establishing that from the start with some fresh faces we have, I think is very important, and that's what we've done these last few weeks.
What's going to be the key for you, David, to just kind of blend in with a lot of new faces, but at the same time still be in somewhat of a leadership role just because of your experience in the NBA?
Well, I think for me it's just about being myself. I've been in the league and I've seen a lot of things, both good and bad. And I think that I'm a guy that a lot of times leads by example. I'm a hardworking guy, and I think that's always something that it's good for the young guys to see when your veterans are hard workers, because at that point they have no choice but to fall in line and do the same. And I think that the veteran guys are what sets the tone, both in training camp and preseason and as the season goes along. So I'm just going to be myself, and I think I'm a pretty likable guy and a guy that can set a good tone by my work ethic.
And just talk about just the mental transition that you have to go through when you're a starter, you're an all-star, then all of a sudden you're not playing, you're getting DNPs. Just being able to mentally work your way through that whole period. Just could you talk to us a little bit about that?
Yeah, and the first thing that I had to admit to myself was that it's okay to be frustrated about it. And I was very honest with the media last year that if I wasn't frustrated, there's probably something wrong. And I got injured to start the season, and it wasn't like I lost my job. I got injured, and the team went, I think, 19-2 to start the year. And if you're a rookie head coach and your team's 19-2, I think the last thing you want to do is disrupt the starting lineup. So coach talked to me, and I was more than happy to take that role change. Not more than happy, but more than willing to take that role change. And I saw something really special with that team, and it went on throughout the year. And there were some very frustrating times when, and once again, I'll be confident to say that I feel we would have done great with me in there as well. But I'm very proud of what Draymond did last year and the rest of the guys that played and shared minutes with me. And I think none of it matters by the end of the year. All that you're going for is to win games and win a championship. And I was just happy that when my number was called, I was ready in the playoffs. And I told myself that was my biggest fear, is to not mentally check out, because I knew that I've been in this league long enough to know that everyone's number eventually gets called. And I wanted to be there, and I was able to in the Memphis series and in the finals and make an impact. And now, have a championship ring and nothing else matters.
There seems to be two narratives about this team, like around the country. One is it's one of the big up-and-coming teams in the NBA. The other is kind of they went on a nice little run at the end of the year and snuck into the playoffs in the Western Conference. As somebody from another team, what was your view of the Celtics last year, and how do you think you can kind of add to that this year?
Well, I could tell you we played the Celtics twice, and they had us beat twice. And I thought we were a pretty good team last year in Golden State. So. The thing I noticed is the depth and how hard the team played, and those are things that no matter what conference you're in or no matter what happens going into the next year, those are things that translate over. And they also seem like they were very well coached, and that seems to be the case from the weeks that I've been here. Is coach has done an unbelievable job even in the preseason to the preseason. I think with the additions we've made, we've added people that have character and will add to the chemistry. Amir Johnson, for instance, is a guy that is tough to play against. Playing against him for years now, and he always is going to give his best effort on the court and be a guy that competes every time. And those are the players that you build with. That's how we went from a 23-win team to a championship team in Golden State over a 5-year period. Is we built with chemistry and character, and we built with guys that love to play the game. And I think they have that same mindset here, and I think you can tell that by the offseason additions.
David, you're 6 years younger than your coach. How does that relationship go? Because I mean, he's not the old guy that you're probably used to playing for, except maybe Kerr, but how do you kind of build a relationship with a coach who you're very close to age with?
That's a really, I didn't even know that was a really interesting question. Well, it'll be easier than my rookie year when I played for Larry Brown, that was probably 40 years older than me. I think there's a little less of a gap there socially. No, coach's knowledge of the game is unbelievable, and I think the biggest compliment that I can give him, and it's also the compliment you can give Steve Kerr, who I played for last year, is that I think his personality fits the team's personality well. And Coach seems to be very, very positive in how he approaches everything, and I think with a young team like we have, that's very important. And he always wants to teach the game, which is also very important. So I think he fits great with the team. I'm going to have no problem. I can get along with anybody, and Coach is one of the easier people I've ever seen to get along with. He's very, very straightforward and honest and a positive guy. So I won't have an issue there.
And can you see